Laurent Bourque for Ottawa Tonight, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Ottawa.
Yeah.
I guess you're from here originally.
Yep, born and raised.
What took you from Ottawa to Montreal? Why did you decide that that was a better place to sort of build a solo career?
Yeah, that's pretty much why I moved there. I was also to go to school at the same time. I moved right after I finished high school. I moved to Montreal and I started working on my band. We were done with my band while I was still in Ottawa. And then when I made the move, I just started doing my own thing, getting my name out there as a solo artist.
So was it mostly the school, or did you really feel that Ottawa wasn't conducive enough to sort of building something?
It's not that it wasn't conducive enough. I felt like I had done already a lot as in my band. I just felt like I needed to try something else. And moving to Montreal allowed me to get better, like bigger opportunities and meet more people and just start fresh, sort of in a new scene. So it was good that way.
Okay. Tell us about the shift from thinking in a band context, which you had here in Ottawa, to where you're sort of running the show and making all the decisions.
Yeah, I tend to like it most of the time. There's a lot of work when you're a solo artist. I have to do all the emailing and work and writing, and especially on the album, I pretty much arranged most of it and picked all the parts and made sure everything sounded good. So it's a lot more work that way, but you're more free. I can do whatever I want, and there's no democracy. If my band's doing something I don't like, I can just say stop. You know. I don't have. It's freeing in a lot of ways.
Is it harder to maintain a consistent band under those circumstances, though?
Definitely. I think it's hard. It's hard in any context to maintain a good band, even if you are a band with a band name. But I've been lucky enough to work with my drummer for a long time. His name is Jamie Cronick, who did the drums on the record, and who also was in my old band as the drummer. And we've sort of have this partnership that works also really, really well. And I've always managed to find other musicians that do great work with me. So it's been good.
Okay. Now, you were mentioning that you do most or all the songwriting and play a lot of the instruments as well on the album.
Yeah.
And there's no lack of instruments to be played.
No.
So, I mean, was that again something new, or did you have to learn certain instruments for the challenge of it, or did you already come to it sort of as a multi-instrumentalist?
No, definitely not. I don't even think I'm a multi-instrumentalist today, even though I did a lot of instruments on the album. It was just experimenting, really. If I had a nice melody that could work well on a piano, that would go in the song, the only option was either me or the producer who was there. And I was just like, okay, well, I'll just do it. It can't be that hard. And so that's how we went. It wasn't planned. I've never really had any training in most of the instruments that I know how to play.
So that means when you were tackling those instruments a lot of it for the first time, you're approaching them maybe from a fresh point of view, an almost naive point of view.
Yeah.
So do you end up being sort of satisfied or surprised with the results, or do you listen back later and sort of say, "Ooh, I sure wish would redo that again"?
As far as this album goes, everything was sort of simple. The banjo didn't take. I mean, like a guitar. I did a lot of the bass too. When I listen back to the bass, it'd probably be the only instrument that would be like, okay, I wish I had a real bass player that would figure out parts that would work much better. It turned out okay. I'm not unhappy with it, obviously. But every time I did one of those instruments, I always thought, oh, I should learn how to do this for the next time, rather than just wing it, you know?
So what drives you as inspiration? The album, I mean, it's clearly meant to be mainstream in the sense of appealing to a broad range of people. It's pop, but it's not manufactured, artificial pop. It's got a very organic feel.
Thank you.
Very summery kind of. I mean, I know people throw Beach Boys into the mix. Is that really an inspiration? That kind of '60s kind of innocent summer vibe. Is there some of that involved?
Not really.
Okay.
My influences are from. I was born in '88, so my influences are all of the '90s. Is what so I guess I was influenced by people who were influenced by the Beach Boys and the Beatles and stuff like that.
just some money and a pretty young wife, that's all I need. Can't you make me feel better? But please, just call me when you get home so I can make sure that you made it safely. 'Cause I get so worried.
But I
Oh, so you're just a carbon copy of a carbon copy of a
pretty
carbon
much
copy.
isn't everyone? I don't know. It's strange when when people ask me what my sound is and what I'm trying to do, because the songs that I write, I never go into it going, okay, I need to write, you know, a single, you know, type song or something that's really appealing. That's how my songs end up being. It's never something I try to do. It's just always the way I've written guitar parts, and it's just the only way I know how to write songs.
Okay. So the album is called What We Talk About. Mm-hmm. So what do we talk about, Laurent?
Themes of love and heartbreak, and just any relationship is a relationship with oneself, with friends, and obviously lovers as well. Is what the album is about.
So that's what people have been writing about that since the first caveman banged two stones together. So how do you take a different, fresh, or original approach to that?
Good question. I just tend not to think about it. I just tend to just write, and if I like it, it stays in the song. That's it.